What's up guys, Christian here with Ford Momentum. I've got an oldie but goodie for you guys, the SuperPro steering rack bushing install. This one has been around for a long time and it makes a big difference on your steering rack. Now one way to test it out is to drive down the road and shake your steering wheel back and forth, and if the car continues to track straight, you may have some play in your steering rack. You can put it down on the ground and you can have a buddy or yourself get under the car and watch the steering rack as someone turns the steering wheel back and forth. If you see a lot of movement in the steering rack, that means your bushings are probably worn. SuperPro offers a really good deal a couple times a year, and it's usually about 20% off. You can get these direct from SuperPro, or you can get them from a place like Figs. They are about $30 when they're 20% off. You get a very large bushing in here, and then you get the other ones, which I'll show you where those go. There's two other positions under there. The big one right here, that's gonna be easy. We'll get that one, no problem. But this should be a quick and easy mod that should make a big difference as you refresh the bushings on your 2GS chassis or any other car for that matter. So let's get under there, let's take a look, and we'll get the old ones out and get the new ones in. And you can see the steering rack is right here. Tie rods, bellows, rack. And this bushing here is going to be the easy one. It's very rubbery, as you can see, and pliable. Now I can't demonstrate the rack moving because I can't do it from where I am right now. The other bushings are here. So there's a 17 mil and another 17 mil up there, which is going to be difficult to see with this light. There you go. So there's a couple 17s up there. Once we get that off, the rack, actually we're going to take off the subframe brace, and then the rack is going to kind of hang down and there'll be more space, and we're going to punch these bushings out of here and maybe pull the top one, I can't remember, but you've got kind of a mess of hard lines up in here, and then you've got an oxygen sensor right up here too. So we're gonna have to make some room, start pounding these things out. We'll look at the SuperPro bushings and I'll show you how those are gonna go in. See if there's any water in this. Nope, good. There's a little 10 mil right up here for these hard lines. So I advise you to take those off, or it off. That allows a lot more movement on these hard lines here. Both the same size. Let's see if I can get this thing. Yep, it's loose. Okay. 3/8 ratchet with a long 17. That seems to be the ticket. It's a little clumsy under here, but that seems to work pretty well. Okay, these are the same size, so that doesn't matter. There is a nipple that's in there. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but it does plug itself into this plate. So if you take a screwdriver and you put it up in there, you can push the rack away a bit, and we should be able to rotate it and get this bushing out. Peel this towards you like that. So the slit should be on top, and then you should be able to just pull the thing out. And I mean, this is nothing. Let me show you this SuperPro one here. Couple sleeves, bushings that are halvesies to make it easier so you don't have to press them through. That's awesome, I love that. Got the same nipple on bottom for alignment. I'm not sure if I can demonstrate this, but there's a good demonstration. So, you know, I'm pretty sure this is the OEM one. I don't think I actually ended up doing this mod back in the day because I didn't have a lift. Finally got around to it. So I do have installation grease already open from another episode. I'm gonna pause at this step. I'm not gonna install this, and the reason is because we want this rack to be able to pull away from the frame a bit. I'll leave this off for now. You can see how much movement there is. And I'm gonna go after these two 17 mil bolts and bushings that are inside the rack right over here on this side. I got an extension, a 1/2 inch ratchet, and a 17 mil up in there. Now I'm gonna try to break it free. Oh yeah, there we go. Got it. There's one bolt. I hope you guys have better luck than me, because this one does not want to play nice. Trusty ball joint removal tool that I bought a long time ago is paying off once again. So you can see that it's gripping that side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank on it and hopefully push that metal sleeve right through. There it is. You're going to get your punch on the metal sleeve itself, and it's going to start going through as you hit it. And just pull the rack back a little bit until it comes out the other side like that. Easy. The instructions say to grease them all over, so I went ahead and did that. You're going to install that on the back side, and then you're going to get your next one and you'll install that on the front side after you get it all gooped up with grease. We're going to go after the top one first because that's pretty much the one that's the hardest to get to. All right, we're going to take the new sleeve, make sure it's the same. Yeah, it is. And push it through. Oh, it's a little harder than it looks. Okay, there we go. Take your half, put it in. Take your other half, all greased up, put it in. Get your sleeve and push it through. For some reason that one was a lot easier. And there you go. Get your hands cleaned up and this excess grease cleaned up as well. Remember, the slit was at the top, so we will do the same thing again. There's an alignment nipple that is on there, and it kind of holds in place. Make sure everything's kind of centered in there. We'll get those torqued down in a minute. I'm gonna go back over to the other side and run those in. All right, let's see if that did anything. So I'll be back in a minute with torque values. The torque spec on these two that are over here are 48 foot-pounds, and for some reason on the factory service manual that I pulled up, these are cut off, but it's the same size bolt pretty much. I'm gonna go with 48 here. If you see that I'm wrong, please comment. "48 foot-pounds, 48 foot-pounds. It's one of those long 10 mils. It's going to require a lot of turn. You ever start a job and just say, it'll just be a couple tools? The job really isn't bad, guys. Despite that pile of tools, it's an easy one, and it's a good mod, and it's affordable. So I recommend that you get under your car and you knock out the steering rack bushings. I finally got around to it, and I'm glad that I did. These are the old ones right here. Thankfully, they're completely intact. They're not torn or anything, but they're very soft. You can just feel it. This one is crazy soft, and it looks like it was starting to wear down a little bit. It's got some little nubs on the inside. I don't know if that's the right word, but they look like they were starting to wear a little bit. So that means the rack was definitely moving, possibly. I don't know. I've got lots and lots of mods lined up. I don't know what episode number this is going to be in order, so I can't say what's coming next for sure. I do have the limited slip series that's going to come. That's been a big side project. You can take a look right here. As I'm filming this, I've just got stuff everywhere. So I'm knocking out some little things as part of the bushing refresh for this car. And I hope you enjoy the episode. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, drop a comment. See you on the next episode.